What's up, guys? It's Shad here for the Team Fantasy Football League Commissioner Cody with your Week 7 preview. As you can see, I'm exhausted from figuring out the reason why nothing was working, because I didn't get notifications yesterday, even though I did today, is my videos were not working because I ran out of storage, and I've spent the last 30 minutes figuring that shit out, and I ended up spending more money on iCloud, whatever. So lucky me, I'm happy. All right. I'm just kind of wiped out at this point. I just want to get this fucking over with. Forgive me. It's been a rough. Today was rougher than yesterday, and I just don't give a fuck today. All right, so just bear with me. We're gonna get through this. I know you prefer longer preview videos. I'll say my spiel, but I'm moving the fuck on because I just want to move on with my life today. Week 7 is gonna be fun. Lots of fun. Happiness. Lots of happiness. Starting off with Scott, our defending champion as always. Power rankings number 1. Power ranking number 6 for Brandwagon. Scott's 4-2. Brandwagon's 2-4. 157.7 for Scott to 161.3 for Brandwagon. What jumps out of this matchup? Obviously, Scott's Falcons versus Brandwagon's Buccaneers. Matt Ryan, Calvin Ridley. Hopefully he plays. Versus Tampa Bay Buccaneers, pretty much. As I said, Tom Brady, Mike Evans, Gronk. If those two play, Brandwagon has everybody on that matchup except for Goodwin and anybody else that's irrelevant on that offense. He also has the defense. He also has Scotty Miller on his bench as well. Other than that, though, let's just take a shout out to Scott. Number 1 in our power rankings, number 1 in our hearts. Mainly because he's all this stuff that he has going on with his team. He's still at the top of this leaderboard, most points. He's top of the power rankings, as I mentioned. The reason why we're giving Scott a shout out, even though I gave him a shout out the other day with the recap video, is because Eckler IR, McCaffrey IR, Dak Prescott IR, Miles Sanders out. Those are 4 of his best players. They're all out. And he's still doing what he's doing. Just want to give Scott a shout out. That's pretty awesome. I wish I had that kind of luck. Obviously, I don't, because I'd be a lot happier about it. But whatever. Happy for Scott. Brandwagon, looking at your team here. Lots of buys. Jonathan Taylor on buy. Hollywood on buy. Gesicki on buy. Not that you'd start him, but he's on buy. Fitzmagic, even though he doesn't have his job, on buy. Gaskin on buy. Thielen on buy. I mean, so it's pretty much the injuries versus the buys. So who's going to win? Who would win this matchup? Dak Prescott, Miles Sanders, Dawson Eckler, Christian McCaffrey against Jonathan Taylor, Hollywood Brown, Gesicki, Fitzmagic, Myles Gaskin, and Adam Thielen. I think we all know the Scott's team would win in those, injury versus buys. But it's fun to think about because both teams are abysmal this week because of injuries and buys. And by abysmal, I mean like the teams aren't bad. I'm just saying they're inching past this week just so they could possibly have their team next week. And possibly, I mean, for Scott, Brandon will have his team next week, so that'll be nice for him. So who do I think is going to win this matchup? I like Scott's team a lot, and I show Scott a lot of love, but you know what? I'm going to keep showing the love. Unfortunately, Brandwagon this week. I'm not sure if I'm feeling it. Scott's team is just so good. I'm sorry, Brandwagon. I'm going to have to pick Scott this week. I don't have anything to support that. I don't have any analytics because I'm a one-man show, and I do this all on my own in my own free time. And this is just the eye test. No analytics, no assistance, nobody doing this with me. It's all me, baby. All right. So with that being said, shout out Scott. Also, like I said, shout out Brandwagon. You're inching across this week just to try to get past the buys. Who could blame you? Enjoy your last week with Mike Davis because I anticipate McCaffrey's coming back next week for Thursday. Moving on to our next matchup, we have Hobert versus Craig. Hobert at 178.6 to Craig's 157.7. Power ranking wise, Hobert at 9 to Craig at 7. 3-3 for Hobert to 1-5 for Craig. Not getting the power rankings because you know I did that explanation in the last video. So if you guys want to check that out, you can find out why Craig's where he's at and Hobert's where he's at, regardless of anybody else's opinion. They're my opinions. Let's see, looking over here at Hobert's team, I mean, it's solid all the way through. Like I said, I love Hobert's team. His team's a good team. I mean, I'm not a fan of Garoppolo personally. He's playing against the Patriots, and he doesn't have a ton of options to throw to at this current moment. So we'll see about that one. But Zeke, he's going to have a big day. Slayton, he's going to have a big day. Godwin, hopefully he's healthy. He'll have a big day. I'm not a big fan of John Brown. He's questionable. I don't know who's on your bench right this very second. Aaron Jones, big day. Diggs, big day. Herbert, big day. I mean, they're just going to all have big days. You are going to suffer through Devontae Parker and Mark Andrews on bye. You do have Jonnu Smith. He does not have an injury tag at this current moment. So, you do what makes you happy, Hobert. I'm just happy that you're happy. Moving on to Craig. Craig's team is slowly getting really good, guys. 170, 170, 180 the last 3 weeks. I mean, looking at his team from top to bottom, Bridgewater, solid. CEH can be solid. Gurley has been solid. Robbie Anderson, solid. Claypool, solid. Brandon Cooks, solid last couple weeks. Mike Williams, solid last week without Keenan Allen, if Keenan Allen plays this week. Drew Brees, somewhat solid for the most part. His defense and kicker, though, super solid. They combined for 40 points last week. Looking at his bench, he has Tua, so that'll be nice in the future. I'm intrigued about that, Craig. Shout out to you for that. Especially for the draft value. You have Jerick McKinnon on your bench. I would look into somehow throwing him in your lineup. I'm not sure where because they're going to miss Mostert for the next couple weeks. I think they threw him on bye, and they're going to. I think Tevin Coleman's not playing, and then Jeff Wilson's questionable. I saw so. You do what you want. It's your team, obviously. This is just my thoughts and opinions. I would probably find a way to throw McKinnon in there because they're going to run heavy all over the Patriots. Who I think is going to win this matchup? I think that Hobert has the better team, and the projections relate that. But Craig's been hot recently. I don't know. I don't know. This is just such a toss-up. I'm sure some of you might be thinking it's a no-brainer. I don't care. I'm not you. I don't care. I'm not you. I think that if Hobert takes John Brown out and puts Jonnu Smith in, then he'll probably end up winning. But that's just, like I said, that's my opinion. I don't care. Do what you want. You know what? Fuck it. I'm going upset city this week on Craig to Hobert. I like Hobert's team a lot, though. I just like the upside for Craig. Like Hobert obviously has hit 200 points a bunch this year, but Craig's team's upside is just like, look at the team, just like, I'm not sure I want any of that. But then, like, you look at what he's done the last couple weeks, I'm just like, man. I don't know, man. This is probably the toughest one I could probably think of right now. I don't know. I guess it just depends if Godwin plays and John Brown plays. Assuming they do, I guess I'll pick Hobert here. He's just... it's going to be close. If John Brown and Godwin play, then I'm going to pick Hobert. If they don't play, I'm picking Craig. Good luck, guys. I don't know. Moving on. We got matchup of the week, 1 versus 3. Liam, 5-1, number 1 in the power rankings, against Will, 3-3 in the power rankings. I'm sorry, he's 3-3, number 3 in the power rankings. Apologies. Projections are pretty high for this matchup. This is the matchup of the week, so understandably so. 189.9 to 187.1. Liam to Will. Looking at the at matchups here, I love, you guys know how I feel about Liam's team. And you know how I feel about Will's team. Will's team is just solid top to bottom. Liam's getting lucky this week. He is avoiding Lamar Jackson. I'm really glad too. Will set his lineup this week. Another Will doesn't set his lineups. It's just yesterday when I was doing this stuff, he still had Alvin Kamara on his bench, and I just was like, I didn't know how to do any of this because he wasn't here for me. His lineup wasn't set for me to judge it properly. Let's see here. Looking at Liam's team here, I'm not sure if he set his lineup or not. He hasn't even thought about Tannehill. I don't know how you set Tannehill. You guys know how I feel about that. Look at the last video at the end and the whole spiel at Liam, why he fell from 1 to 2, even though he won. He fell from 1 to 2 because he left Tannehill on his bench and left the door open for Herbert, causing this whole rough and whatever. I don't care, but it's all Liam's fault because he didn't start Tannehill. And if he doesn't start him this week and he gets a win, he could fall again because you guys need to start your player. Tannehill's unstoppable at this moment. What do you need? I'm recording a video. All right, that's my cat. I know nobody gives a shit, but whatever. That's my cat. Looking at it though, I like Liam's team, but I think I'm gonna go Will this week. Now, I want to say this, okay? Will, I'm picking you this week. However, we have this thing, not literally like by design, but it has happened in the first 6 weeks where I pick you, you lose. I pick against you, you win. So I'm picking you because I think you're going to win, okay? But going forward, if you lose this week because I'm picking you for winning, no matter what happens in the future, this is going to set the tone. So if I think you're going to win next week, I'm picking against you. And if I think you're going to win the week, if I think you're going to win, I'm going to pick for. If I think you're going to lose, I'm going to pick for you. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know if I said that right. I don't even care. You know what I'm saying? It's all backwards. And this is good. This week is the game 7, week 7. This is game 7. All right, Will, you and me. I'm picking you. You need to win for us to break this cycle for us. But yeah, I am picking the upset this week. It's not really an upset, 1 versus 3, but 3 is Will is projected higher. No, I lied. Will is projected lower. Apologies. So yeah, I'm picking Will. I love Liam's lineup, but Liam needs to throw Tannehill in there. I'm not sure how I feel about Cooper Kupp. On his bench he has, J.D. McKissick's kind of solid. Bernard's going to be solid, especially if Mixon misses time. But either way, Will's team's just so solid that like his bench includes Lamar Jackson, CeeDee Lamb, and Boston Scott. All guys that should be in anybody else's starting lineup. So I'm not a big fan of DJ Moore, but I'm still picking you. And DeAndre Swift still has AP over there, so I'm not sure how I feel about that yet either. But I'm still picking you. Nonetheless, you will win. Lots of wills. That's for you, buddy. All right, moving on to Phil versus Eric. Phil at 4-2 to Eric's 3-3. Power rankings wise, this is 4 versus 11. 187.8 for Phil to Eric's 167.3. Looking at lineups here, I love Phil's team on paper. I really, really do. But when it comes to Eric's team, they're just scrappy. Like looking at it from top to bottom, he's got a solid. Like I don't even know why I said because Melvin Gordon's not really Watch out for Eric. Phil, you know how I feel about your team. You didn't overachieve last week like I thought you would. So I'm now reserved in ranking you. Not ranking you, I apologize. I am reserved in how I feel in this matchup with you versus Eric, if that makes sense. Like I said, I love your team, like top to bottom. Mahomes, David Johnson, Keenan Allen, Allen Robinson, Travis Kelce, David Montgomery, Ronald Jones, Aaron Rodgers. Like, you have the Patriots defense. You have Gostkowski, who's not a bad kicker. You have Jamison Crowder on your bench, who should be in anybody else's starting lineups. Like, you have Bob Tanyan. Like, Tim Patrick's on your bench. Like, your team is very, very solid, Phil. But when I look at this lineup, Josh Allen, Melvin Gordon, Josh Jacobs, Tyreek Hill, A.J. Brown. Oh, shit. I got a fucking 20% on my battery, and I thought I canceled the video, and I almost lost my shit. I almost just quit week 7. Like, A.J. Brown, Debo Samuel, Travis Fulgham, Cam Newton, Titans, and whatever. Doesn't matter the kicker. Well, the point I'm trying to make is Eric's team is just as scrappy as Craig's team, except Eric has the wins to back it up. Even though Craig had the points to back it up, he didn't get the wins. Phil's team's really going to need to show up this week, but I'm going to pick the upset. It's not because I don't like Phil. I don't like Phil's team. It's nothing like that. It's just I'm looking at what's in front of me, and I'm one person, and I don't have any analytics. So I'm going to pick Eric this week for the upset. It's going to be close, though. I would not be surprised if Phil just runs away with it. But I'm just picking upsets this week, I guess. I don't know. I haven't really done a lot of design for this. I'm just kind of going with, like I said, it's been a rough day. I'm just trying to do this as best as I can, but I'm drained, man. Yesterday was tough. Today was tough as well. Doesn't matter. The show must go on. I'm picking Eric for the upset. I'm sorry, Phil. I love you, buddy, but it's just not. I hope that it works out for you, but I don't think it's going to work out this week. I just think Eric's team is going to work. I don't know why. Just a feeling. Again, I could probably be wrong. I don't even know what my fucking record is. I should probably go through each week, rewatch the videos, let me figure out the picks, and then figure out my record for picking these picks, because I'm curious too. Maybe I'll do that sometime. I have a whole. You know what? I'm off all next week. I'll figure that out next week. I'll have that for you next week's video. Maybe. Hopefully, I remember. I'm very forgetful. I'm sorry. I just am. It just is. So yeah, moving on from that ramble and blabble and whatever, we have Dylan versus Gary. And apologies to Gary, because there's a teammate with Gary. Gary co-owns with Rec. His name's Alex, but I've always called him Rec, so I'm calling him Rec. Gary and Rec. I also say that because I inquired about a player on his team, and he said, let me talk to my partner. So apparently they're still together. So apologies, Rec. I did not mean to disclude you from anything in the past. However, you're not in the group chat, and I don't think you watch any of this. So I don't think Gary does either. So I'm not really that sorry, but I'm sorry because we're friends. And I respect you, so that's why I'm apologizing. Anyway, I'm done rambling about that. Moving on. Balzac Ertz, that's Dylan. He's number 12 versus Gary, which is Gary's number 5. So 12 versus 5, 155.5 for Dylan is his projection to Gary's 143.5. That's shocker. I did not think that projections would be that way for this matchup here. Let's take a look at what we got going on. Dylan's got Michael Thomas in his lineup. Shout out Dylan. I really hope I hope he plays this week. I really do, man. Not for your sake, for my for my own selfish reasons. Looking at that, let's see what are we looking at on the bench? Your keeper, your number one keeper, your most important keeper is on your bench, Dylan. He's on bye, but he's on your bench. I worry about that. Justin Tucker on your bench, that might be the difference maker, man. That might be it. I'm just messing with you. Not much. I don't love the AB ad. I mean, I think he could be something, but he needs to get signed first. I know there's interest. There's a lot. It's really preliminary. I know there's a lot of hype because he's AB and he's always in shape, and he's not doubting any of that. I just question, like, if he goes to the Seahawks, do you really think he's going to take that much away from DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett? If he does, like, maybe, like, sure, but I don't know. I like the stash, especially in your position. I like the stash. Looking over at Gary, he's without Dalvin. Fortunately for Gary, Dalvin's on bye this week, so it's not like he's without Dalvin, but he's just without Dalvin because he's hurt, but he's not out because he's hurt. He's out because he's bye, so that's cool. Justin Jefferson, Kirk Cousins on bye for Gary and Rec as well. Maybe I'll call you guys Greg. What do you guys think about Greg for Gary and Rec? Greg. We'll see. I don't know. If anybody watches this, If you watch this specific portion, let me know how you feel about Grec. 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 I don't know. Whatever. Let me know. Let me know what you think. Um, Grec rocking with one quarterback this week. I don't blame you. Whatever. Do your thing. You only have one other quarterback on your bench, and he's on bye. So 2 quarterback league. You should probably have 3 quarterbacks if you can. But you don't, so that's all right. Whatever. It's your team. I don't care. I'm picking Dylan with this one. Upset as far as the power rankings go, but not really upset as far as projections and what's going on these teams. Shout out Dylan. I hope you get your second win, buddy. Good luck, Greg. Greg. I haven't partaken yet, so. The last matchup, the best for last. Last but not least, whatever else you want to say that works like that. Kyle versus Cody. Kyle is power ranking 11, I believe. Yep, to Cody's 9 or 8. Where are they at? 8. Let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes. So 11 versus 8. Very exciting matchup. 3-3 Kyle. Somehow he has 3 wins to his projection 134.9. It's always so low every week. I'm sorry, Kyle. I don't mean to pick on you. It's so low. I just have to mess with it. And then Cody with 182.7. Every week Cody's projected so high, and his team is just, I don't even know what to do with it. So looking over at Kyle's team, let's look at his bench. Who's on bye? Phillip Rivers, but that's all right. Nick Chubb's on IR. Saquon's on. Oh yeah, he'll be fine. Saquon's for next year, but Chubb will come back at some point. And Kyle's still in the thick of the playoff race, so shout out Kyle for finessing Brandon. Not that he finessed horribly, but just getting a first round pick for next year, and getting Saquon, and still having a chance to compete this year is just bonkers to me. Not really anybody I'd say you'd want to replace in your lineup, Kyle. I mean, you know how I feel about Baker, but whatever. He'll get his. And you know what? I have Odell a lot. So in all sincerity, as much as I hate on Baker, I really, really hope that one day he can get it together, because as somebody who has Odell in 2 or 3 leagues just because he fell value-wise and because injuries have forced him to be my number 2 receiver or number 3 receiver instead of a flex like I wanted him to be, I hope that they can figure it out. I hope that they can do it this week, because I would like to move Odell, and I can't move him without a big game. So, that being said, go Baker. Come on, Shaken Baker. I don't know what that means. Shaken Baker. Is that your name, Kyle? Dangerous Shaken Baker. I don't like dangerous because I'm dangerous, and I have Russell Wilson. So, I would like to propose a friendly wager. No, I don't want to propose because I have Russell Wilson. I deserve to have Danger Russ. You know what? Fine. Be dangerous, Shaken Baker, but Baker's not dangerous. So I would like to start a petition. If anybody else is watching this, can you also give me your input on how you feel about Kyle having dangerous Shaken Baker in his name? Because Baker is not dangerous. I'm okay with Shaken Baker, whatever you want to do. But he's not dangerous. Kyle, I'm just messing with you. You make your team name whatever you want it to be. I don't care. I don't know. I'm just deliriously having fun with you. I like your team, though, for the most part. I don't like Austin Hooper in your starting lineup. Maybe, I'd probably throw Cole Beasley in there. He's their veteran slot guy. I like that a lot for him. I love Cole Beasley. Last year, nobody was buying in on him. And even this year, I listened to the hype, and I didn't buy in on him either. Looking over at Cody's team, I mean, it's hard to really argue with most of this. Russell Wilson, Chris Carson, Antonio Gibson, Darren Waller, Robert Woods, DeAndre Hopkins, Julio Jones, Andy Dalton. I just need a quarterback in that slot. I don't have another one. Daniel Jones, my other option. Do I flip a coin? all that shit I talked with Daniel Jones is just like, what happened, dude? Did you forget how to play football? Like, did you, like, he's on the same pace as he was on last year, where he sucked so bad in the beginning, and all of a sudden he started getting on. Like, does that happen this year? Should I just throw him in there and hope that it starts happening? Because I don't know what I'm gonna do. I need another quarterback. Um, Michael Gallup on my bench, DJ Chark on my bench, Zach Moss. I want to see it before I believe it. Darrell Henderson's on my bench. Like Keelan Cole is on my bench. Like this team is. I don't even know why I said Keelan Cole. He's not that great, but he showed up last week for me in a 16-team league with Will. Shout out Will. As I mentioned previously, we are on a 2-game winning streak, so we are now 2-4. But 6 for 143 last week is pretty awesome in my opinion. For Keelan Cole, so maybe. But if I am speaking from as Cody, the only people I'm really questioning on is Hopkins and Julio are both questionable. So assuming they do play, they're in. But if they do play, like, do I take Waller out? Do I take Gibson out? Like, those would be the only two I'd really question taking out for, guys like Gallup, because it seemed like Dalton was trying to get Gallup the ball. Gallup last week anyway. Not that he did anything crazy, but yeah, he only had 2 for 23, so he had 6 targets. So that's kind of optimistic, I guess. But DJ Chark's really questionable, so I probably wouldn't play him. Probably looking to throw in Darrell Henderson in there if I took out Gibson, Waller, or any of those receivers that were hurt. Back as commissioner, and as unbiased as I could say this, I'm picking Cody to win. You know how I feel about most of Kyle's team, as I have said over the weeks. But I can see Kyle putting up 150 points again this week. I just don't see him getting the dub. Cody's team, hopefully they show up this week because he's running out of lifelines. I don't know. I feel like my team is so good, but like I'm just not getting the love. I don't know. Maybe I am, and I'm just hating on myself for pity party. I don't know. Whatever. Picking Cody this week. If you guys have any questions, I still managed to make this about 30 minutes, give or take. So if you guys have any questions about anything, trading, as always, like I said, I want you guys to understand these things so that you can, whether it's with me or with anybody else, it's just important you guys understand these things. Trades. I believe there's a couple people that still owe me money. I'll figure that out. I believe it's Gary and Liam and Eric. I'll have to double check, but I think those are the 3 remaining people. Without further ado, I hope you guys are satisfied. I brushed my beard. I don't know where my brush went. Oh, there it is. I hope everybody's having a good Thursday. I'm off tomorrow, so enjoy your Fridays as well. Oh, Sunday Night Football is on right now. I didn't even realize. I don't know. It starts in about 6 minutes. I don't know. I'm all over the place. So I'm going to get off here. I'm going to go partake in my daily relaxation. If you guys have any questions, reach out. If you watch this whole video and I asked you about Greg and messing with Kyle's name, all fun and games, just joking Kyle, but if you guys think that it's fun and we can mess around with Kyle a little bit more, then throw that in the group chat as well, just so I know you guys watched the whole thing. If not, whatever, it's not going to make or break me or this league. So hope you guys are having a good day. Hope you guys are healthy and happy, and love y'all. All right, be safe, and adios amigos.